All right, traders, the portfolio is up 10.44% on the day. Ended up scalping SPY put options twice today for very nice 20 to 30% wins within minutes. With that being said, I'm going to be recapping the trades and show you how I was able to use this unique gap close reversal strategy to buy SPY put options today towards the top in between that 412 to 413 zone as planned in yesterday's video. We're also going to be going over how to trade the best setups at the best prices. I've got plenty of stocks prepared for you guys, and we're going to be doing an in-depth price action analysis along with the SPY. With that being said, this will prepare you to trade the best setups at the best prices. I'm going to give you the trading plans, and we're going to go over the key levels. I'm going to show you how to get in on these, what confirmations to look for. Let's get straight into the analysis. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. So in terms of the small account challenge, it started 11 days ago. The portfolio nearly hit new all-time highs today in terms of the small account challenge. It is now at $6,398. 11 days ago, it started with $3,941. I believe the portfolio is now up a little bit over 62%. With that being said, I'm going to be recapping the trades that I made on SPY. I alerted SPY puts twice today when it was trading in between the range of 412s to 413s. And I'm going to show you how I was able to kill it and make 20 to 30% returns very, very quickly. So we're going to be going over that towards the end of the video. Make sure you stay around. Let's get into how to trade the best setups at the best prices. So first things first, we're going to go over the SPY. So in terms of the SPY, we were well aware of two levels, right? And within the chat, I prepared members as well. This was all live streamed today. But in terms of the watch list section within the chat, I brought awareness to new stocks on my radar. We're going to be going over some of these as well. I also brought awareness to META. You know, this is now the third day in a row where it held that key 155 support with big upside potential, and there was a gap to fill above, I believe it's 169, right? And then there was a higher gap to fill above as well. It was due for some sort of reversal. I kept mentioning this in my videos multiple times. 155 held for 3 days, make it or break it, eyes on META. That was a good dip buying opportunity. I didn't end up playing the breakout on that one. And then in terms of SPY, the key levels for SPY was 413 and 412 and the key support. These were the key levels for puts. Multiple great scalping opportunities in and out for puts towards 413 to 412. So with that being said, SPY ended up gapping down. And like I tell you guys, when you see SPY trading at key resistance, you know, you could see right here, this is key resistance on the daily. It's overextended for the micro for the short term being. And also it's sold off very hard from 413. You know, this was at 413. It gapped down all the way to 408.50, bottom towards this key support, shot back up to fill the gap. Once the gap filled, it reacted as a resistance multiple times, gap close reversal, right? So when you see SPY topping out at key resistance on the daily and then it gaps down, once it shoots back up to fill this gap to hit this previous closing price, you wait for the bearish confirmations. You wait for the top wicks. Wait for it to be struggling towards resistance. And you know the two best prices for the puts were Friday's highs, that was absolute best at 413, and the previous closing price for the gap close reversal, which was at 412, right? So those were the two best key make it or break it levels. You could see right here, as soon as SPY filled the gap, it had an overreaction. It went from 412 to 410.62 within a minute. Then it shot back up, and then it ended up selling off even lower, going to the low 410s. So you know it's going to be an absolute gift if it ends up spiking back up towards Friday's highs to play puts again, and then it's sold off again, right? So many opportunities. Scalp puts, scalp puts, scalp puts, scalp puts, scalp puts, scalp puts, scalp puts. So many opportunities, right? So in terms of ways to identify that this was bearish, I ended up playing puts right here. I bought puts right here. I did get squeezed a couple minutes later. I held through and I added to my puts, because if it can't top out at that previous closing price and there's big downside potential at 413, I'm going to see how it reacts at 413, right? And that's what I did. And it was reacting bearish. It formed the wick right here. It formed the lower highs right here. And when it goes green to red, right, had a massive gap down, went green, back to red, that's confirmation to be adding into puts, to be scaling into puts once you see that 412 crack and react as a resistance. I ended up getting a premature entry right here because it just dropped to 410.62. It already sold off hard and it shot right back up. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to scalp some puts right here. And I got squeezed a couple minutes later, but then I was aware 413 is major resistance. It already reacted very weak at the gap close reversal level. So odds are this is just going to be a slight little micro overreaction to the upside where it tops out at 413 and then sells off again because it already sold off here. It's already showing signs of weakness. This is all an overreaction to the upside, right? So in terms of opportunities to buy puts using this strategy, I would say right here was an opportunity to buy puts, and I did get squeezed right here into the lower highs, right here into the breakdown. These are all entries for puts. These are all entries. I bought puts here and I bought puts here. I didn't add here. I was already scaled in very, very nicely. And then I played puts again. I ended up buying puts and alerting real time. This was the best alert for the day. This was at, as you could see right here, 10:53 a.m. So 10:53 a.m. My theory was SPY was going to sell off at 11 a.m. because if you go to Friday's chart on 11 a.m. when it had an overreaction to the upside, SPY ended up selling off. History tends to repeat itself. So right here, 10:53 a.m. This is where I alerted puts within the will alerts section. These are where the best alerts are sent out. 10:53 a.m. I alerted my position, got in. This was my second trade. Absolutely crushed it. I got out right around here, 20% win in like 10 minutes. On this trade, I got squeezed initially. I was down 30% on my starter size. I added and I bought more contracts as well with different strikes to play it safe too. Didn't cut it, added, and bought new contracts. 30% win, ROI. You could have done this, rinse and repeat all day towards 413. Bearish reaction, bearish confirmations. Right here, lower highs. People think this move's bullish. This isn't bullish. It crashed and it's going back up to the previous support. Previous support reacts as a resistance, big sell-off, right? Previous support reacts as a resistance, big sell-off. Bearish wicks, lower highs. These are all confirmations. This is money. Every single oval I'm drawing here, these are all reasons to be buying and scalping puts. This is all money, man. That previous closing price for the gap close reversal and that 413 Friday highs resistance. Today was easy money. Today was a phenomenal trading opportunity, and absolutely crushed it with the puts. Just got to work a little bit better on timing. But yeah, for the most part, this was absolutely phenomenal, man. This was, I'm telling you, that second trade was so on point. That first trade, I got squeezed in a couple of minutes, but I added to it, and it worked out phenomenal as well. But yeah, those are the recaps with the gap close reversal strategies. We like to wait for SPY to hit a key resistance level on the daily, rock it back up, and then hit the previous closing price to fill the gap. When it gaps down, go back to the previous closing price to fill the gap. Then once we see weakness, this is weakness right here. This is an overreaction to the upside, and then it fills the gap. Overreaction to the downside. It struggled at this level, dropping $1.50. So you know, if it hits Friday's highs and you see the wicks, you see the lower highs, you got to play puts. You got to play puts, guys. Look at this 5-day chart. You got to play puts. This is where you got to be playing puts. Big downside move, big upside move. These are overreactions. Play the trend reversal. The chart says right here, puts towards 413, puts towards 412. This is where you want to be buying puts for that big downside potential move. That is how you do it, guys. Scalp SPY like a sniper. Now, what do I think of SPY now? For the micro, it is struggling. We are seeing for 2 days in a row where it struggled to break above 413, and it's closing lower than it did on Friday. So technically, that's a little micro bearish. Now, what I want you to understand is SPY is in the middle of a battle zone. There's a gap to fill right here at 406.07, and there's a gap to fill right here at 417.39, right? So in terms of levels, best levels for puts, 417.39. Best level for calls, 406.07, and of course this level you can't go wrong with 390.89. Write these down. I'm going to do what I did today to absolutely crush it at these levels that I'm giving you. I'm going to keep on doing it, just new different levels. So there's a new level we do have to bring awareness to. So this is what I want you to understand, right? SPY failed to break out twice. It failed to break out 2 days in a row. It's overextended for the micro. It's due for some sort of pullback. We can definitely see something like this. This is one of the possibilities. Where see how the chart looks like these two candlesticks prior to moving up, compare these two candlesticks to these two candlesticks, and then it starts to sell off. That is one possibility. So in terms of, you know, for bulls to continue this run, it's make it or break it. It's now or never. If this is going to run up to fill this gap at 417.39, in my opinion, it doesn't have much time left to do it for the short term. It has to do it quickly. It has to start breaking out above 413. in order to get to that 417.39. If it cannot do it soon, we will see that rapid fire sell off to 406, and then that will be the new make it or break it level, 406. In my opinion, I'm not too bullish for the micro. It looks overall bearish for the micro. It looks overextended. There's a gap to fill at 417, and then there's a gap to fill at 406. I think we're more likely to fill this gap at 406. That's what I personally think as of now. But you need to understand, we're in the middle. We're in a battleground. We're in a battle zone for the middle of the SPY, and it's trying to figure out which gap it wants to fill first, whether it's the one at 417.39 or it's the one at 406.07. Now, we need to go over some new key levels. This is going to help you determine when the bulls are in control, where the bears are in control, where you should be trading at. It's going to help you determine the key make it or break it levels. Your new level, and this is going to be the middle level, is today's closing price. The previous closing price for tomorrow, 410.77. 410.77 is a new make it or break it level. We're going to call that the middle. Best level for puts, 413. 413 is going to be your best level for puts. 412 is no longer the best level. 410.77 is a level of interest to determine if this gap is going to fill at 406. So here's what I want you to understand. If 410.77, if you see this react as a resistance, it's reacting bearish, I strongly believe the bears will step in and they will take this to fill the gap. There's a gap to fill at 406.07. Not going to happen right away, but that is the direction we will head into if SPY can form lower highs and turn 410.77 into resistance. As of now, SPY did break above Friday's highs, but it closed weak and it closed lower than Friday. So it's trying to form lower highs, and there's a gap to fill below at 406.07. If it can continue to maintain below 411, we will be on track to have a minor pullback to 406.07 within some short-term time. Now, for the bulls to take control and for this to have a chance to even go to 417 this week, they need to turn 411 into support. They need to hold 410.77. They need to turn it into support. If they can do that, the next level is 412. If they can break above 412, it goes to 413s. And then in terms of if this can turn 413 into support, break above, turn it into the floor and not a roof like it currently is, that is when we will see that gap fill at 417. So this is what I want you to understand as of now. If 413 breaks out and reacts as a support level, that's when SPY will rip to 417.39. So when it does have that bullish reaction, whenever it's going to happen, you know where it will head. It will be heading to 417.39, which is the best level for puts. If it has a negative reaction, it will continue to get shot back down to this 410 level, this like mid 410 level. And if that reacts as a resistance and cracks, we will be on track. There's a lot of support at 408.50 to 408. We will be on track to go back to the support. If I were holding puts, I wouldn't be too greedy. I'd be locking in profits right around that 408 if I were looking to hold for a bigger win. You guys know me. I scalp in and out like a sniper, in for 10 minutes, in for 15 minutes, in and out, right? But I would definitely look to lock in profits towards 408s. There's definitely a possibility where it hits 408s again and then it rips back up. It's definitely a possibility. But in order for this to fill the gap at 406, it needs to crack 408.50 and turn it into a resistance level. In order for the SPY to fill the gap at 417, it needs to break above 413, turn into support level. Right now, we are at the middle. And in terms of what the middle of the channel is saying, it is saying that the bulls are running out of time. They're held up, inflated on thin air. And if they cannot hold 411, this will get ugly very, very soon. So 410.77 is going to be our new make it or break it level. 413 is going to be the top of our channel. In terms of bottom of our channels, there is 408s, low 408s. We can definitely bounce off of that, but I wouldn't buy calls towards that. If you want to buy calls, 406.07, that is going to be the best price for calls, 406.07. If that level cracks, next best level for calls will be at 390.89. So our new key levels, let's break it down. 413, if it turns into support, reacts bullish, on track for 417s. Reacts as a resistance, turns bearish, it pulls back to 412. If 412 cracks, reacts as a resistance, it pulls back to 410.50. If 410.50 cracks, reacts as a resistance, it pulls back all the way to 408. If 408 pulls back, reacts as a resistance, that is when the gap at 406 fills, right? And then let's do the inverse. If 406 hits, it bombs out, reacts to support. Next level, 408.50. If it breaks above that, reacts to support, next level, 410.50. If it breaks above that, reacts to support, next level, 412. Breaks above that, reacts to support, next level, 413. Breaks above that, reacts to support, next level, 417 gap fill. These are the current updates. Those are the key make it or break it levels. Trade the best setups at the best prices. We are still considered to be towards the high end of this resistance 2-day channel now, right? So our best levels moving into this week as of now are 413. This 410.77 will be a key level for tomorrow, and 406.07. Those are going to be our three best overall key levels, right? With that being said, that is going to be the game plan for SPY. Those are going to be levels of interest. If I see it struggle and react as a resistance breaking down towards those levels, I will look to scalp puts in and out. In terms of Crocs, I am going to be doing a lottery ticket put earnings. I will let you guys know when I decide to enter. But I am going to be swing trading puts and holding through earnings. It's going to be a high risk lottery trade. Basically, whatever you put in, you could lose everything, right? That's the reality of holding through earnings. It's not something I typically do, but I do want to do puts on CROX and hold through earnings. I have not taken my position yet. I believe the earnings are Thursday morning, so we'll have to wait and see. I'm waiting for the chart to develop a little bit more. The way I see it, big downside potential. And if I were holding through earnings on a stock like this, I mean, it looks like Roku, I would rather have puts. I personally think CROX, Croc stock, is going to be like Roku all over again. You know, Roku is having these tiny little moves up, Earnings comes out, it gets absolutely crushed, and then it starts to recover. I personally think that CROX is going to be the next Roku. That's how I see it, right? This is just too overextended. It's due for downside potential. I mean, just look at last earnings. It just got absolutely annihilated overall. So I'll keep you guys updated with the game plan for that. In terms of SIGA stock, for this one, I'm just done with it for now. I got in at 1570 on Friday. I sold it in the morning today at 1830. The highs were in the 19s, mid-19s in the pre-market. So for this one, we're going to dip by it again. We just got to wait for 1216. When it hits 1216, this level right here, that's when we dip by it. That will be an A1 setup, waiting for it to go back to 1216. That's where I want to buy SIGA stock again. Let's go over some more here. Kellogg's, not really interested in doing anything at all. Just keeping an eye on it. Earnings is coming up. XOM, not really interested in the chart at the moment. Things have changed for this one. Just kind of sitting on the sidelines. Tesla. Wow, Tesla formed a very bearish candlestick on the daily today. You guys know we wanted puts right here to fill the gap at 952.62. It almost filled the gap. It went to 935. It didn't fill that gap yet, but it almost got there. So you can see right now it's at a key support level. It's trying to bottom at this make it or break it gap fill level. If it holds 890s, it rockets back up to fill the gap at 950s. If it cracks 890s, it goes micro bearish for a move to 860s. That's my thoughts on it. In terms of the best price for puts, I would preferably want to wait still till 952, even though this does look like a bearish candlestick. So basically for Tesla to go micro bearish here before the gap fills, it needs to crack 890. If it cracks 890, we will be on track to drop to about $849, right? And then in terms of Tesla calls, if you want to buy calls on Tesla, 776.58 and 742.50. Those are the best two gap close reversal levels for those calls. For those of you who watch these videos and write down these levels and set these price alerts, you will put yourself in the best position to succeed as a trader. And these alerts will be triggering during August. So I'm telling you, set these price alerts, just trade these setups. You'll easily make back the cost of Trader Society before you even get in. If you just, follow these key levels and you understand what a bearish reaction is, what a bullish reaction is, what a scalp is. You get in, you get out. I'm telling you, these are the key make it or break it levels. Meta stock had its breakout and then it closed weak. For this one, I've just lost interest in it. I'm not going to follow it anymore. I was waiting for that breakout move. It finally happened. Now I'm just on the sidelines. I will say this. If it holds 159 to 160, we're going to rock it back up. If it cracks 159, it goes bearish again. Pinterest had a massive move up here with earnings. It's currently at $24 with the extended hours trading session. There's a gap to fill on Pinterest at 24.20. If this reacts as a resistance level, Pinterest is going to go super bearish. So I want you to keep that in mind. If you see Pinterest struggling at $24, it's breaking out, it's reacting as a resistance, you're going to want to scalp puts for a nice quick put scalp. So that's your make it or break it level on Pinterest. It must hold 24 to continue to go up. If it can turn that into support, the next level is 26.13, which would be the next best level for puts. So basically for Pinterest, $24 is your make it or break it level. If it, reacts as support, it'll be on track to go to $26 to fill this gap. Best level for puts. If 24 reacts as a resistance, it'll be on track to sell off and continue to go lower within time. Now, run. Let's talk about run stock. When this hits a key resistance level and gaps down with the first red day, it typically sells off. So I would keep a close eye on this one, man. This looks overall bearish. This RUN stock looks pretty bearish. I'm going to keep an eye on it. In terms of key levels for this week, I want you to understand that, this is going to be a make it or break it level, $30. Psychologically, nice keyhole round number. Gap to fill below. Overall chart is beginning to look bearish. Best level for puts, 32.69. It'll rocket back up if it holds that 30. But I'm looking for puts. So 32.69. If $30 cracks, reacts as a resistance, I will look to scalp puts to about 29 to 28.50. So keep an eye on RUN. EMPH. EMPH, kind of similar to SPY in a sense. It's been sitting for a couple days now. It's towards key resistance. It's starting to look bearish. This could be something where I do decide to play some leap put options on, but I have to wait. It's just, this does look overextended. It looks overextended. It looks like it's due for some sort of pullback. This is a bearish candlestick. I'm going to keep a close eye on it. It looks like it's going to flip bearish here soon. Same with Tiva. Tiva's not looking that bullish. Best level for puts on this one is going to be 10.18. So that's the breakdown. Those are the top stocks that I'm going to be watching. Big shout out to the members within Trader Society, man. You guys are absolutely crushing it. I love the consistency. Casper's portfolio is up 26% on the day. Moss portfolio is up 7.58% on the day. My portfolio is up 10.44% on the day. Lucas portfolio is up 28% on the day. Malak's portfolio is up 5.84%. KG absolutely crushing it with the SPY puts. Oh, wow, 8%. Very nice job. JD's had a big day today, 5.61%. Vincent, 3.92%. ASAP Tech, absolutely crushing it with the SPY puts, 120% return on the contracts. Very, very nice. So, yeah, if you guys do want to be a part of Trader Society, it's going to be the first link down below in the description. Everything is explained there. You get access to the small account challenge. You do also get lifetime and instant access as soon as you join Trader Society to the Discord server, to the live trading streams that we do every single day at Market Open, to the voice channel, right? Where you can ask me questions live on spot via voice, via chat, network with members. You can have me a friend on Discord as well. I'm telling you guys, these live streams and these voice channels, these are going to be game changing, man. I was on stream today. Members saw me on stream trading live. All my positions open and closed, my entire portfolio, see me make the trades before I get in, see me filling out the orders. They saw everything, and it's all recorded too. So like you can, if you join the program, you can watch the recordings. You can watch them live. You can rewatch the recordings for that education. So yeah, and then of course the video lesson library. You get access to the course, the video lesson library, where you learn how to trade options, learn how to trade puts, learn how to trade calls, learn how to trade the best setups at the best prices, learn how to create a trading plan, where to get in, what confirmations to use, where to set your stop loss, where to set your price target, right? You get access to all of that, the unique gap trading price action strategies that I've created, how to find the best setups, how to trade them at the best prices. You can recap your trade, enter them in the trading journals. You will learn so much within Trader Society, and you also get access to risk management and position sizing, psychology, and mindset trading, all within the video lesson library. If you do want to be a part of our team, it's going to be the first link down below in the description. I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open. Thank you so much for tuning in.